To my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, Mbolo, Mbolwani, my dear people, this is your queen, Ngningone, second of the name, 17th generation crown queen of the fangs and of the amazing and beautiful diasporan Africans. Welcome, welcome to Nubia, the path to return, the home of the African royals. Now, if you're watching me for the first time, Mbolwani, my name is Queen Ngningone II, and I'm the host here at Nubia, the path to return. So, my beautiful people, what are we talking about today? Well, batatas, bananas. We are at war. I'm sure most of you already know that. And today, I have a message for the disgraceful Africans, okay? Wherever they are in the world, if their main goal is to bring down Africa, I have a message for them. But today, I will feature a particular one, a disgraceful and distasteful African woman, whose video was brought to my attention, and here she goes. Let's watch this.
Interracial marriages. Are you in an interracial marriage in 2025? Why are people still talking negatively about this? It appears that color only matters to racist people. Yes, I said it. Why do you care if a white man is married to a black woman? Or if a black man is married to a white woman? Even if a black woman or man is married to a Mexican. Love transcends color and background. Interracial relationship should be celebrated, not criticized. Why do some people still find it hard to accept love in all its forms? As long as couples are happy and respectful, their relationship is their own business. Focusing on others' relationship often reflects one's own insecurities. Love has no color. Love is love. Their love for each other is all that matters. Why is it so hard for some people to mind their business? Why do you care? Carmelo Anthony has not been indicted or formally charged. Not sure why there are several recent posts on TikTok saying he has been charged. He hasn't been formally charged. It appears that the case is expected to be presented to a grand jury at the end of June, so next month. At that time, the grand jury will review the evidence and decide whether to issue an indictment, which formally charges Carmelo, or issue a no bail, which means no charges will be filed. If indicted, the case will proceed to trial. If not, the case may be dismissed or further investigated. If there were 12 of me, he would definitely be indicted. What he did was not self-defense. This is self-defense. Who in their right minds will call that self-defense? A Cincinnati police officer fatally shot 18-year-old Ryan, who was armed and fleeing in response to a stolen vehicle report. The next day, a deputy was struck and killed by a vehicle allegedly driven by Ryan's father, Rodney, in an incident authorities described as intentional. Can you guess what happened afterwards? You are right. They set up a GoFundMe. As I said in one of my previous videos, you just have to do something negative and they will support you. Unfortunately for them this time, GoFundMe removed the campaigns for violating their terms of service. They apologized and said GoFundMe's policy prohibits fundraising for legal defense related to violent crimes. Campaigns violating this policy are removed and donations are refunded. There you go. They will be refunding your blood money to you. So contribute that money to initiatives that benefits your neighborhood. Why isn't your voice heard when a white cop is involved in a case like Rodney Jr.'s son? Where is your stance on justice? This person is saying that I only sing to white people. Read the comments. The situation he's talking about involves a stolen car and an armed teenager who lost his life during a police chase. It is concerning when people are portrayed as heroes despite their actions. It's sad to see this becoming more accepted in some Black American circles. One would think the teenager is talking about was getting ice cream or attending his graduation when the incident happened with the police. This is another example of thugs raising thugs. Instead of harming the deputy, Rodney should have focused on raising his son with positive values. That is my voice. Now you have it.
Wow, my children, that's a lot to unpack. So before we begin, first I would like to apologize to any of you who have landed on this woman's video. My sincere apologies, because this shouldn't be spewed out from the mouth of an African woman. But here we are, okay? So as you could see, this woman, unfortunately, is married to a white man, the kind we call colonizers, okay? So forget about what they tell you about interracial marriages today. Those of us engaging into interracial marriages have made a clear choice. That's a divorce from your own kind. That's a divorce, a separation from your own people. And until we start looking at it as such and we start treating it as such, we will have such individuals coming every now and then and gaslighters.
Any of my peoples that have a problem with me for saying black and white, I'm trying to get y'all to understand. This is not to bash y'all because I get a lot of us are uneducated. But this whole black versus white is a distraction. We're all flesh, we're all humans, we all bleed. Caucasians are saying this to deceive you because that same mindset of I don't see black and white led us into the exact situation we are in right now. When our ancestors met these Caucasians for the first time, they didn't see black or white. They didn't see flesh. They saw spirit. We see these Caucasians that are in need of people to teach them how to be civilized, how to behave like proper human beings, how to cook your food, how to bathe, and all of these things. This is what our ancestors did. And that mindset led us into change. That led us to our downfall. Because these Caucasians turned on us, they enslaved us, they killed us, they raped us, they stole our knowledge and then used that same knowledge to deceive the world. They went around the whole entire planet creating God in the image of a white man and all of these things. The same people that say color don't matter made God white, right? So all I'm saying is you could play this black versus white is a distraction. You could feed into that. But I'm telling you right here and right now that they are using that tactic to deceive you. They are using multiculturalism to deceive you. That's all I'm saying. Because when I go into these major businesses, I see majority of the people working behind the counter are white people. You see, there's a disadvantage. When I go into the prisons, majority of the people in there are my people. Disadvantage. When I go into the school systems and the miseducation of black babies, there's a disadvantage, and I could go on and on and on and on. So you could play blind. I'm not.
So by the accent alone, I can tell she's Nigerian. So I would like to invite our people of Nigeria to come to the front row because I believe this war thug belongs to you. So my people, it is important that we don't become blindsided when we come to America. We are here in America because those of us that stole from us, who came before us, paved the way for us to be here. So where am I going with this? What does it mean? It means that whatever we found them doing, we will follow. Their struggle become our struggle. So when we come here and our people tells us, you may not have the same experience with the N-word, don't let anybody call you that. For us, we have to respect that. When our people say the Confederate flag, it's an insult to us, we have to listen and respect it. When our people say, due to the way they treated us, we deserve reparation. We need to be right there with them, screaming, pay our people. That's what a normal son and daughter of Africa would do. Wherever they land and they found other Africans in struggle.
Confederate flag and the Black American Heritage flag. Should individuals have the freedom to display their chosen flags, such as the Confederate flag or the Black American Heritage flag? Why do some Americans display flags that evoke painful historical memories? Can you support the Black American Heritage flag while opposing the Confederate flag? Or is that a double standard?
The city of Decatur has taken a big step towards reparations for African Americans. Last night, the city adopted a resolution to create a reparations task force. It says the city apologizes for its role in enslaving, trafficking, and oppressing Black people. And over the next 60 days, the city will appoint 9 task force members to research Black land and property loss. They also plan to interview descendants of the formerly enslaved.
First of all, let's acknowledge the fact that slavery is no longer practiced in the United States. Many people around the world still suffer from modern day slavery. But in America, we don't have slaves or slave owners. Some people just like to focus on their ancestors' experiences, often driven by a sense of privilege or victimhood. So, how do we determine who is qualified to receive the compensation or restitution? And what is fair? Given the passage of time, I suggest that we find a direct descendant of a former slave from over 158 years ago. We can go from there. Or maybe it is easier to address today's challenges and work towards a better future. Also, if Blacks receive reparations, then it's only fair that indigenous people and people from the Caribbean also receive reparation. Who else am I missing that also needs some form of compensation? Because we all can come up with something.
So, unfortunately, my people, we have those, okay? We have those. The enemy, the colonizer, had put their hands on, whether through a paycheck or through a thing called marriage. We will still have to deal with the freshly conquered of us in the name of marriage. This one here spewing all that garbage, all that nonsense, happens to be married to a white racist. Yes, I call him a white racist because only a white racist wife would come and say this kind of nonsense. Yes, they infiltrate our families and divide us from within in the name of marriage because many of our daughters are useless. Yes, you heard me. Many of our daughters are useless. Marriage to us, the African, is a pact of non-aggression. Two clans become one. Two families become one. How come all these white men who have married into our families, our condition has not changed? I am yet to see the organization that white men put together to defend and protect the right, the civil and human rights of the African people. I am yet to see, but our daughters are warming their beds, having their children, marketing their colonial mindset, because that's what they do. When they marry a useless one who has no clue, they put her in front of the camera. Go and broadcast the so-called good life I give you to recruit many of your children. All this to do what? To do what? To destroy the Black man.
Black women, listen, I'm trying. I promise I'm trying. I've done everything that I know to do to put these guys on. Just won't listen. Guys are really simple. Listen, we're going to try something. I want you to comment on this post right here. Share it, comment, like it, do whatever you got to do. Get it out yonder. Get it out in the world for everybody to see it. But make it simple for the guys. This is the problem, I think. Guys like simple. We go to a damn steakhouse. We already know what we want. We got to look at the menu. That's how we are. Comment your name, your age, and where you from, and what you looking for. Friend, you want a life partner, you want a date. And I guarantee you, with that little bit of information, the guys can scroll down my page and see. I'll even put it on the damn headline up there. Black women looking for white men. Anything like that to grab their attention. Because there's a lot of men out there that love black women. I know this for a fact. They hard-headed. And they like simple. Let's make it simple for them. Let's see if we can do that. Y'all have a blessed day.
Free Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony is home, not for too long, okay? And you wonder why there's so much violence in the Black community. Look at what you guys are supporting. You know, that is why it is okay for a Black man to shoot another Black man and take away his pair of Jordans. That is why. That is why you continue to raise thugs. That is why your community are always run down. No matter what people try to come in there to do, you run them out with violence and nonsense like this. But instead of waking up and realizing that maybe I'm the problem for once in your lives, maybe there's something wrong with us, you continue to blame it on the past. You continue to look for excuses, and your excuse is the white man, what the white man did to us. So you're in that bondage, and that's why you can't grow. That's why you can't make progress in life, because you're stuck. You're stuck in the hate. That's a lot of weight to carry.
She had my blood boiling within seconds of listening to her. To us, marriage has been a pact of non-aggressions. Two clans, two families become one. But strangely, when it comes to the Africans, they're still their slaves. They marry them to colonize them. They marry them to indoctrinate them. And then they push them before us to spew that rhetoric. Mind you, this is an African woman, so she's supposed to know better. But my people, I want you to know that these girls you see gallivanting around with these white guys, these are nobody's daughters. Because girls who come from good background, solid background, don't marry white. And if they do, they bring a son, okay? They bring a son. It's a big difference. He joined our clan. We covered it on this page. The man will take the nature of the woman he sleeps with. We are the only group of people whose daughter, the minute they go and sleep with a white man, a lot of them come and fight us and come and hinder us and come and undermine us. This is what's going on. So don't get it twisted. Those of you are our daughters in their houses. You clearly are not Queen Hesters. So what are you? You're not a Hester. You're a harlot, a prostitute, a slave, a wench. And when you're a wench, you shut the hell up against your people. If you can't help them from within, shut your lousy mouth. We are tired of these prostitutes gallivanting around the internet with their white husband. What have they done for our fathers? They're still slaughtering. What have they done for our continent? Their brothers are still exploiting. What have they done?
We ain't got time for games. If you don't want to be African, no problem. Get away from me.
These cases she's tampering with are human rights cases, okay? For those of you who are not familiar with these two cases, the first case she's referring to is the case of our son Carmelo Anthony, who defended himself against two twin bullies over 200 pounds each. He defended himself because they would have hurt him or killed him. And the second case she's referring to is the case of our son, King Rodney Hinton.
Rodney Hinton, y'all wasting y'all time. I'm telling you, this man literally ran over a police sheriff's deputy after he was accused of unaliving his son the day before in a routine traffic stop. Yes, everybody's in on it. Everybody wants to know what happened. But this man had to go into trial with 30 deputies trying to stare him down and intimidate him.
A long time coming, but I know.
This man had no remorse. The day before, y'all unalived his son in a police shoot, okay? And then y'all want to try to intimidate this man after losing his son because he ran over one of yours? How do you think he feels? I'm just asking. He lost his son. He is a father. Yeah, you lost a brother in arms, but he don't care. He is ready to take on every one of y'all deputies. He did. He's ready to serve his time. He's ready to roll. Y'all ain't intimidating him. He's ready to make his peace with what he done. I'm just saying.
If you are considered a human among your peers, they must know that you have the right to defend yourself and your loved ones. They must know that you have the right to protect yourself and your loved ones, unless you lost your humanity. Black people are yet to be granted the right to defend themselves and defend their loved ones. This is what these two cases are about. So I don't know what gives the infantry to this war thug to come after these two lepers. If Carmelo Anthony win his case, it means that black men and black boys and women around the country will have that right. They will exercise that right with confidence. Only white people have the so-called right to defend themselves in this country. And when it comes to Rodney Hinton, same thing. They don't know the side of the black man who kills for his children. This is what our forefathers did. They didn't cower out before the European firearms. They went head on as they slaughter our kids on the street. The leopard spirit is in many of our children and it's awakening. And there's nothing none of you can do to stop it. Because when a crime is committed against a child, a father or a mother is must retaliate unless they have lost their humanity. Oppression is forcing our sons' DNA to be activated. Our people are turning kamikazes. Do you know why they don't mess with Arabs? They pay the price for dignity. So when our son Rodney Hinton and our son Carmelo Anthony pay that price, you show respect. You shut your lousy, stupid mouth. If Carmelo Anthony walks, black boys and black girls will have the right to defend themselves in the streets of America. If Rodney Hinton walks, cops will think twice before taking the life of a black child. These are the rights they are fighting for. The right to defend themselves and defend their loved ones. A prostitute like you can never get it. Whatever rubbish your husband's screwing to you overnight, keep it in your house. We don't want to hear it. You heard the part where she said if she is part of the 12 juror, he will be indicted. This is how they extend an offer. Yes, I'm that black woman you can use to destroy black people. I'm just not surprised that it comes from a colonizer's wife. They've been instrumental in the past. They are still instrumental until today to bring us down. And when I see this kind of behavior, especially from some Nigerian women, I have another one I will feature who came against Ibrahim Traoré. When I see this kind of behavior in the midst of the social climates we are in, I'm convinced that Nigerians did sell their people. I'm convinced of that now. Although I've been on this channel telling our children in the diaspora that all our kings fought, but now I'm really questioning. Yeah, I'm revisiting the Nigerian. Aren't you the ones who were dipping your people in a lake or a pool so that they forget about everything? We, the Congo, we gave it to them with whatever we had. And no, nobody dipped our people in no pool for them to forget anything. Nobody held our people in no slave dungeon. They had to literally pick them up and traffic them to another area for them to be transported. Our people came with everything they were born with. And the leopard spirit is awakening in many of them. The Black Panther spirit is awakening in many of them. The lion spirit is awakening in many of them. Because unlike you, we didn't give our people away. We didn't sell our people. They stole them from us. They tortured them. They unalived them. They raped them. They did the most while building this land. Yes, reparation is a debt. Reparation must be paid. What do you mean to tell me that my forefathers and my foremothers' children they took from us and came and beat and abused and enslaved, their descendants don't deserve a thing for what they went through? Are you crazy?
Good afternoon, the gender that betrayed Jesus.
Good afternoon, the forbidden fruit eater, Samson headquarter, John the Baptist head requester, snake language translator, Joseph seducer, and of course, Abacha apple giver. How was your night, my dear?
Fine.
Why not go fine? Evil gender. It's another fall of man that you are going to now.
This here kind of throws me off because it's a woman. And when women get involved, it's over because women are witches. Yes, women are witches. There are good witches and bad witches among us. Good witches build and protect their community. Bad witches destroy it. What she's out there is casting spells, creating illusions around our sons. If you're going to be out there casting spells over their destiny, if you're going to be out there wishing their bloodline to be destroyed, may yours be the one being destroyed. You know, that which we found acceptable for others, we inevitably attract to ourselves. It's called the law of attraction. Since it's justice to her for a child to be shot 4 times in the back while fleeing, well, let that kind of justice befall her going forward. Yeah. Since that's what she found acceptable. Tell your in-laws that our sons have drawn the battleground. If they kill our babies, they will retaliate. Okay? They circulated many videos on the internet giving a clear warning. Many black dads came forward. You'd kill my son, I kill you. That's the mantra. People. So tell your in-laws, behave around our people, okay? Anything will set them off at this time. Refrain from taking their lives because yours will be taken too. If you don't have a white husband who's doing things in Africa, building roads, who's going before the Congress and tell them, leave my family alone, leave my white people alone, you shut up, we don't want to see you. We don't want to see your little ugly black face. If your white husbands can come in our community and act like sons, we don't want nothing to do with them. In fact, we should start canceling you all. Your husbands will only treat us the way they found you treating us. That's why you went on the other side, because you hate yourself and you hate your people. So you're not fooling anybody. All of you with these white husbands, either you put them to work, they are to start an organization that will promote the protection of the African people and their human and civil rights, or get out of our faces. They're done conquering your people. Now you're promoting their sons because you are their salesman. You are colonizers' salesman. They put you in front of the camera to showcase that so-called life they have you pay for. So as you go out there and sell yourselves to a group of people who is yet to acknowledge the wrong done to our people, who is yet to apologize and pay reparation, your life is worth nothing in their hands. You're only a tool, okay? You are only a tool. This is really embarrassing because even our children in America, since all this started, they are at their best behavior. Of course, we have some slaves who come and repeat what master says, that when I want your life, black man, black woman, you must lay it. We still have those around. But coming from an African is shocking. And no, you don't have permission, no right to discuss our people in America. You forfeited that right the minute you went and married on the other side. You are not suited to discuss them. Their lacks, their shortcomings, what they have, what they don't have, what they should have, and what they shouldn't have. If you can't support our people, shut your mouth against them. Our people are protected. When you get out there talking all that rubbish, you are asking it from us. You are not a Queen Hester, you are a wench. And what do wenches do? They keep quiet. These are the street girls, those who go to nightclubs and stuff, dream of a white man to get them out of their poverty. These are them. Nigerian, my people, this is not okay. This is not okay. This is how they marry them and brainwash them and use them as weapons against us. And I want all our children to understand this war here. Don't get blinded by color. This is a spiritual warfare. Light versus darkness. Good versus evil. And both sides have our people. So my lovely ones, that was it for today. My beautiful children, keep up the good fight. We stay one, those who are for our dignities, those who are for our liberation, those who are for our elevation. All those who think that we are better off as slaves are the front line we need to confront. And this is what it is. So to my beautiful and amazing lovely one, peace in your homes, love in your heart, and unity.